What is up, Packer fans? Back again. It is week six. Week six. Packers at home after the bye. It was nice to have the bye week. Try to get some guys healthy. Now the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals, who are struggling, they are 2-3 after Joe Burrow got hurt. He's going to be out for at least 3 months. Probably not back during the regular season. If they make the playoffs, maybe there's a chance he comes back. Looks like they might not, the way they've been playing. But they did kind of score some points against the Lions last week, made it kind of a closer game than it looked like it was going to be. But the Packers coming off the bye at home after week 1 and 2, where they looked so dominant, everybody picked them to be the Super Bowl winners this year, and then obviously going into Cleveland, losing against them, then going into Dallas and tying them 40-40. The bye week is kind of a reset. Let's go get back to week 1, week 2 form. Everybody's got to kind of just relax. All the hype, the 17-0 talk from Rasheed Walker, just a lot of the outside noise maybe got to the heads of some of the young players, and they didn't want to. They didn't show up to play. I mean, obviously 40 points is good, but the defense just did not do enough against that Cowboys team. So against the Bengals, obviously no Joe Burrow, but they still do have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the offensive side of the ball. Jake Browning will be throwing them the ball. I kept calling him Joe, but he's Jake Browning, and in the other video. So Jake Browning will be throwing them the ball. He's been kind of hot and cold, struggled a lot this season. Mostly it's because of the offensive line. They do have Orlando Brown Jr., who is a decent left tackle, and then Ted Karras, the center. Pretty much the other spots on the Cincinnati Bengal offensive line are guys that aren't really named in the NFL, or no names in the NFL. So kind of a porous offensive line. I look for this Packers defense to really get after the Bengals and Jake Browning. The Bengals running game, is Samaje Perine, and they have Chase Brown. Chase Brown is a formidable back when they do have a passing game and Joe Burrow's in there. He hasn't put up many numbers since Joe Burrow got hurt. Jamar Chase went crazy last week. They lost, but he had 2 touchdowns. I think it was in the fourth quarter to try to make it kind of a game. Maybe it was in the third quarter. But in the second half, he had 2 scores, over 100 yards receiving. T. Higgins had a score as well. They do have Mike Gesicki, who's a good tight end. And then Yosivas, the Andre Yosivas, the number 80 wide receiver, the third receiver on the team for the Bengals. He's also good. Wanted to get that name right. So, but for the Bengals, obviously on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to come down to can they, protect Jake Browning to get it to the weapons. The offensive line just is really porous. So for the Packers, can Micah Parsons get home? I'm looking for like a 4-sack game out of him based on what I've seen out of this Bengals team. There are some funny videos with the Bengals offensive line going up against some other teams, and their guy got sacked. So I look for Micah Parsons to have a big game. I look for Rashawn Gary to have a big game. Both guys need to kind of bounce back. I know Parsons leading the league in pressures, and he had the sack last week or 2 weeks ago against Dak before the bye. But Gary, no sacks against Dak, and I'm looking for him and the rest of the defense to really get after it in this game against the Bengals. I need Lucas Van Ness to start stepping up. I'm bummed that Brenton Cox is still hurt. I'm not sure when he's going to be back, what his timetable is, but looking for him to get back to put some more pressure on the quarterback. Kingsley Enagbare, he looks really good. We just need to get him some more snaps. Maybe he can get home more often. But I look for the Packers to really start putting more pressure on the quarterback in this game against the Bengals. This offensive line, Jake Browning, obviously they have weapons, but if you can't protect, they're not going to be able to get the ball to those guys. So I just hope this Packers team doesn't do what they do against a lot of these teams that look like they're struggling and make them look like Super Bowl teams, because it's happened a lot over the years. And with the young teams, I just hope that these guys go in focused and really take care of business, score first, get after it, run the football, play action, go over the top, and make some big plays against this Bengals team and kind of just, take over Lambeau Field and win this game, get us to 3-1-1, and that extra tie, that tie is going to be weird all season. But so for the Packers, can we get home? Can the front guys get home? I don't know if Devontae Wyatt will be back. It is day to day. I'm not sure if he'll be ready for this week, but we'll see. That means Nazar Stackhouse needs to play more. He has not played well since he got in the starting lineup, kind of, or like in the rotation with the rest of the defensive linemen, just not playing very good in the middle. Colby Wooden playing okay. Carl Brooks playing okay. And both of those guys need to try to get some more pass rush. Obviously, they're focused on the run stop, but we just need to get more push from everybody. Not a lot against the Cowboys in that Dallas game. Some pressures, just not a lot of push and not a lot of forcing errant throws. So I look for those guys that keep getting after it. And then I see these crazy stats about Quay Walker. He's second, I think, in the league with tackles. And then Edgerrin Cooper, he's playing lights out at some moments. And then I think he's leading the league in missed tackles. So I really want Cooper to kind of just slow down, react, and then break down and make the play. Quay Walker, keep playing fast. But these guys both need to kind of just keep that energy throughout the whole game and just keep it up. And I just like what I see out of both those guys. Obviously, they're young and they're going to make mistakes. Cooper's going to miss tackles, but I think they're just keep being in the right place at the right time, and good things are going to happen for those guys. So, and then Isaiah McDuffie, he keeps playing well too. So it's going to be really important that front seven or that front six, however they kind of have it lined up against this Bengals offense, really starts getting after Jake Browning and the offensive line, because that'll really just disrupt things and make it a lot easier for the back end of this Packers defense, because Xavier McKinney needs to start stepping up a little bit more. Keyshawn Nixon's probably going to be one-on-one against Jamar Chase a lot of the time. I do see that a lot of the time that Nixon stays on the left side and the quarterback stays on the right side. So wherever the wide receiver lines up is who's going to be matched up against them. So it'll be interesting to see how Keyshawn does against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and then see how on the other side, if Nate Hobbs is back, hopefully he is back. Otherwise, Carrington Valentine will get to go, and then we'll see how that goes on that side. Javon Bullard should be good to go. Evan Williams and the rest of the secondary. I'm excited to see how they kind of go up against this Bengals offense, even without Joe Burrow, having Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they're both really good receivers. It's going to be a tough test for this defense. That's why it's so important for Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, for those guys to get home, get after Jake Browning, really make some plays. And then, so on the flip side of that, on the defensive side of the ball, the Bengals defense not playing great. They have T.J. Slayton, the Packer, in the middle, a guy obviously the Packers know well. And then Trey Hendrickson, a guy on the outside, an edge rusher, kind of defensive end. That really is a guy that I liked the Packers, looking at over the offseason. Obviously, we got Micah Parsons, who I think is even better than Hendrickson. But Hendrickson's a guy that we do have to block up. Really have to make sure that he doesn't disrupt the game and force any big plays against this Packers offense. And then Oren Burks, another guy, a middle linebacker. He's kind of bopped around the league a little bit, but he started in Green Bay. He's a guy that I liked when the Packers got him, kind of a tweener, just a fast, but he's a good middle linebacker now. He's bopped around, like I said. Logan Wilson, also a good player for the Bengals on the defensive side of the ball. Well, he's the middle linebacker. I think Oren Burks is one of the outside linebackers. But either way, two Packers back at Lambeau, Oren Burks and T.J. Slayton on this Bengals defense. And then on the back end, they have Cam Britt-Taylor, a guy the Packers kind of know well. We played against him in the past. And then Jordan Battle at safety, a guy who I do like also. So DJ Turner, he's another cornerback. He's pretty good too. So some players on the back end, but this Bengals offensive line, a lot of no names. This Bengals defense, a lot of no names. So without Joe Burrow and all his money, I mean, this Bengals team just is not the same. And so I'm hoping that this Packers offense kind of can get back to form again. Obviously, 40 points is big. The defense didn't really step up, but kind of keep that form they had in the second half. I mean, Jordan Love had, I think it was 4 game leading or game tying drives in that second half. Really good to see out of him. The growth of this young team. Dontavian Wicks, I don't think he has any drops on the season. Pretty exciting for him after a few years before this where he had a lot of drops. Romeo Doubs, talking about contract talk, looking for him to get some big money and stay in Green Bay. And then Christian Watson back on the practice field. Very exciting to see him. Obviously, it's going to still be a while, but his window is opening shortly. So exciting for the Packers with that. And then Jaden Reed, he should be coming back soon too. But for the Packers who are going to be out there, I look for Matthew Golden to really start stepping up a little bit more and a little bit more. I think he had 6 catches for 58, or it was either 5 or 6 for more yards. So he keeps beating his best game after game, and I just look for him to keep stepping up, start scoring some touchdowns. Maybe Jordan Love can hit him on some of those deep over-the-top passes. So for this Packers offense, can Jordan Love and this Packers offense go against this Bengals defense, start running the ball, get Josh Jacobs involved, and then go over the top with play action? I really think that's kind of the formula for this game. Packers need to score early, get the crowd involved, and then just keep the pedal on this Bengals team. kind of get back to form, get back to where they were at week 1 and week 2. Obviously, things slipped away week 3. The offense couldn't play, and then week 4 just became a shootout. So the bye week, reset, get Josh Jacobs more involved. He had his best game of the season against the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, and I look for him to keep kind of building on that, keep him involved in the run game and the pass game, and then Emmanuel Wilson's been playing really good. So I like what I see out of him as well. Keep getting him the ball to spell Jacobs, and then Tucker Kraft, I think he was probably a little more shaken up than people understood with that knee injury at practice. I think he tried to fight through it, but he just wasn't 100%. And now after the bye, I'm looking for him to kind of bounce back to that week 1 and week 2 form that he had where he was so dominant. And then once he gets going again, then Luke Musgraves opens up a little bit, then some of the other receivers open up a little bit. And obviously it all comes down to this offensive line. Can we protect Jordan Love? I'm looking at left tackle, Rasheed Walker again. He should be good to go. Aaron Banks at left guard. I'm not sure if he is in or out. He's been shaken up, but with the bye week, I'm hoping he is back in. Elkin Jenkins should be good to go. Got to just comment on that. They made a comment on the fact that during the game, he was snapping it based on what he was seeing Jordan Love do, not based on getting tapped by the guard like other centers when they're doing the silent count. So kind of interesting, makes me respect Elkin Jenkins that much more. Obviously, really a crazy way to play center because you have to get your head up so quick to block somebody. So to be looking through your legs to snap it is quite wild. So anyway, so Elkin Jenkins at center, and then at right guard we have either Jordan Morgan or Sean Ryan. Kind of they flip-flop. That's why it's so important for Aaron Banks and Zach Tom, hopefully, to be back at right tackle. After the oblique, and he had that little hip injury kind of thing where he got flipped up in the air and landed on his hip hard. So I'm hoping he's okay at right tackle. The Packers paid him a lot of money to come play right tackle for us long term, and being hurt doesn't help. So hopefully we can have him out there, and then that puts Jordan Morgan or Sean Ryan at right guard and kind of flip flop whoever. I think Ryan's better at run blocking and Morgan's probably better at pass blocking, but kind of situationally, and whoever's playing better at the time are in that game. So I like when our 4 main guys are healthy, and then our 2 guys can kind of alternate. I like when that's kind of set up for Green Bay. But without that, when you start having to rotate other guys in, that's when things kind of get messy for this Packers offensive line and for Jordan Love. So hopefully this Packers team is healthy going into week 6 against this Bengals team, and this Packers team can keep rolling. Obviously, only 1 loss on the season, 1 tie, 2 wins. The Lions are up to 4-1, and we do have the win over them, but if they keep winning and with our tie, we have to keep winning as well. So I look for the Packers to, like I said, start running the ball early, often, get Josh Jacobs involved. It is a 3:25 kickoff, so not a noon game, so it'll be a little bit later on. Guys will be a little more hyped. There'll probably be an exciting atmosphere. And obviously Lambeau Field in October, starting to get a little bit cooler. It's going to be exciting. So I want the Packers defense to come out and just shut down this Bengals offense. Obviously, we know that the Bengals have 2 premier wide receivers on the outside, but I think this defensive front for the Packers can get after Browning enough that there's not going to be a lot of time for him to make those deep throws to his playmakers. And for the Packers offense, like I said, run the ball, play action fakes, get Romeo Doubs involved, get Dontavian Wicks involved, get Golden the ball over the top. They're going to start hitting on some of those deep shots to Golden, and it's going to be beautiful. So, go Pack Go. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Packers, I think I forgot to do a Packers-Cowboys prediction, but let's do Packers. This is going to be a win for sure. We're doing like 38-17, I think. Packers over the Bengals in this W, get to 3-1-1, and then I forgot who we even play after that. I was so excited about getting to 4-0 and getting to the bye. That didn't happen, and then I was like, okay, well, who do we play after the bye now? And then so focused on the Bengals. So we'll figure out the rest of the schedule and get you guys next time. Thanks again for watching.